Good morning, boys and girls, moms and dads. Welcome to The Nest and our creative section. I'm teacher Virginia and I'm going to show you this morning everything you need to make something absolutely stunning with your children. All right, so we've got some unusual ingredients this morning. We've got some celery, that's right. For that, you're going to be using a knife to cut the celery. I've got a breadboard so that when I cut, I don't damage my surface. You're going to be needing some paint. So I love my pink. This is the paint that I use the most. You're going to be needing some plates. It can be paper plates, plastic plates, but a plate is important. You will need that flat surface. You will need some spoons, just regular teaspoons, and what else? Some tissues, and then lastly, you will need some colored paper. I love using colored paper. If you don't have colored paper at this stage, you can also use white paper, that's all right. You can also ask your children to paint a beautiful white paper sheet, and then you can use that to do the impressions on top. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting our celery sticks all at once, right? So that they're all equal and not too far from the bottom. So where the roots were growing. So we'll go, I'd say, about 10 centimeters in, and we're going to be cutting and keeping that delicious celery for later for making some yummy salads. So this is what I am left with, the core of the celery. And this is what we're going to be using for painting today. You can return the rest of your celery to your kitchen for a later use, and then you're going to be taking out your plates, right? And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to shake our bottles of paint. If you've got powder paint that you also mix, that's also good. But it's got to be just a slight texture in the paint so that watercolors won't have the same effect. It could work, but it won't have the same effect. So I'm going to place some paint right here on my plate. And I'm going to smear the paint at the bottom so that it's covered nicely. Yes, like so. My tissues, I can wipe my spoon. There we go. And I can just, either if you're in your kitchen doing this activity, then you can simply just put it straight into the sink or in the dishwasher to be washed later. Actually, I'm not going to use blue. I think I'm going to use some yellow this morning. So I'm going to take my paint and put some at the bottom, and I'm going to do the same as what I did with the pink. I'm going to spread it so that it's nice and thick and even at the bottom of the plate. And now all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be dipping my celery stick nice and flat into the paint so it picks up the color. And all I have to do now is ta-da! So maybe the red, I can't see the pink all that well. It's a sparkly pink. I really love this color. Okay, so I'm going to use some more tissue now. If I decide no, I would really love to use some yellow now, well, I'm going to have to give it a wipe. So I can't just, unless you're willing to mix the colors, which is also fine. I like to keep the colors separate. So here it doesn't need to be completely clean. It just needs to be just dabbed. And I'm going to do the same with the yellow so that my celery is full of color. And wow, oh, this one looks very nice. Check this out. Isn't that gorgeous? So I can continue, and if I want to add some glitter at a later stage, I can. Now, if you also want to use this paper to make, you can make a card. So once it's dry, you can fold it in half. You can make so many things. You can also, what I like to do with my children very often, this is an activity that I often do for Mother's Day. So I'm going to draw a heart and cut it out and then place it on a different colored paper and make a lovely card for Mother's Day. So this is an activity that your children will absolutely love. Very popular activity with children, and they can be busy for a while. So you can use and reuse this. Once you've done this activity once, I know your children will want to do it again. So what you can do, you can put this into a Ziploc or into a little plastic bag, and you place this in the fridge so it can stay for a couple of days still fresh, because it will be a bit limp after a few days when the moisture is all dried up inside this celery stick. So you want to keep it for as long as possible in your fridge, and then you can reuse it. So you can dab and wipe, or once you're done with the activity, you can also wash it. That's also good. So enjoy this activity, have fun, send me pictures, comment, and let me know how you enjoyed it. Lots of love, everyone.